Good morning. Oh yes. How are we today? So yeah, I thought I'd do the early slot today, just to see how it feels, and have to tell you, 'cause I'm a bit of a night owl, so this is an early start for me. For the last few weeks anyway. All right, so if you've got a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, awesome. Like, just whatever it is you've got there, just taking a minute. Feel the physical body relaxing. Nice. Just notice your breath. Just mindfully beginning the day, or wherever you are in the world for this time. So what I've got here, I'm going to start with a nice green actually. This is a really nice organic Gikoru Japanese green tea, and if you just allow these little words to arise and let them take you where they do. So green tea in nature is generally uplifting, upward movement, light aromas, light texture, light taste. Got the water here not quite boiling. It's always an interesting one as well. If you rinse your leaves, which is always a good idea. So you see, I just had the dry leaves and I just rinsed them for a second. It both cleans them and also opens them for the first steep, the actual steeping to be drunk. And then with green tea, especially one like this, just doing really quite short steepings. And you'll see already, even from those few seconds, so it's like a nice, it's a light greeny, it's slightly almost like peachy greeny colour. And with this, as I'm drinking it, I'm just observing the different places on the tongue, the textures of the water, the sensation of the bowl in my hands. Noticing as it's the first bowl of tea for me for the day. How it's really quite intense on my tongue. When I drink my first tea in the mornings, I tend not to brush my teeth first because I don't want the toothpaste to interfere with the tasting of the tea. So what I'm going to do is just have one more bowl, and then if you have something else now with you, just to have another moment with it, just notice the aromas, mindfully bringing in this week. Notice how your physical body feels different already just from having a few minutes of stillness. And here we are Monday morning, or maybe it's, I don't know what time it is for you wherever you are, but let's go with this time. Monday morning, just preparing the body and the soul for the week. Mindfully, here we are, just observing the sensations in the mouth, the taste of the tea, giving yourself a moment to focus. The mind may distract you. Such a lovely phrase, a lovely saying. The mind may distract you. The mind may distract you. The thoughts may come in and distract you from this thing that you're experiencing right now, this moment. The thought, the story, the narrative, and then you can bring yourself back to the moment without judgment. The thoughts distract you, you come back to the moment. Lovely. And now, so I'm just going to do a few minutes on lion's mane. Lion's mane mushroom, one of my favourites. My absolute favourite for the cognition, for focus. I remember when I first drank this beauty. Wow, forgot that I'd filled it up. So, lion's mane is traditionally used for cognition, for focus, clarity, creativity. Also, there are studies on gut health. I'm just going to turn that off and let it, I don't want it to be completely boiling as I pour that on. And yeah, you've got studies exploring its ability to reconnect neurons in the brain. So, as we perhaps, I don't know, in our youth we get a knock on the head, we live, if you're playing football, or I was doing Thai boxing for a while, taking hits to the head, and then just generally, as we live our lives, we want our pathways in the brain to be as healthy as possible, right? And here you've got a mushroom that's been studied for helping support that health, for reconnecting the neurons in the brain. And when I first drank this, I'd read a couple of the studies and saw one that was about 3 weeks cumulative use every day, 2 to 3 grams, or 2 to 5 grams I think it was. It was a while ago now, it's about 4 years ago. And so I drank it every single day for that period of time. Now I don't put too much water on it. I like it, say that I've done about half a cup of water. And after that period, well, about 10 days in, 10 or 12 days in, that's when I started to notice, I was like, wow, I'm really receiving information in a different way. And obviously there's a placebo effect in there as well, because I'd read the studies, my mind was in the place of, I'm drinking a drink that supports my brain function. And in that time I remember doing some talks, and I remember hearing questions in the talks and whatever was going on in that moment, a lot of information. And I was just really able to comprehend the information and articulate very, very easily, much more easily than I had been doing. And then periods of time I'll do like a stint of say 3 or 4 weeks every single day of this. Probably due one. And the taste is nice and malty. Sweet malty notes. Lovely. And again with this, you've got the you've got that world to explore of those potential benefits for the brain and the gut health. And then also within that immune support, we've also got that act of just being with this moment, this present moment, being still, taking a bit of time for yourself, or if you're with someone lovely, beautiful, if you're sharing this with someone like lovely as well, that being in the moment, starting the day, or having periods of time where you can just be still, notice the bowl or the cup in your hands, really be present with the aromas, the sounds of the kettle. And in the moment you get an instant gratification payoff. Like you get to feel calm instantly, because the mind isn't in storyland. The mind is with the cup, with the bowl, with the tastes. And there's nothing wrong with the creative mind. That is a beautiful, powerful tool. But when we can practice bringing it back to the present moment, we get to experience. I get these little moments where it becomes highly entertaining, just really funny, because as we repeat them in, whether it's holding your pen and noticing the sensations of the pen or the ink or the keys, things change. Things change. There's something deeply, there's something very logical about it. It's like as we apply ourselves to the present moment in something that we want to do, like drinking a tea or a coffee or eating or listening to someone or speaking, it's very different from being distracted by the mind in the same experience. And there's this loop. The more we practice it, the more we become into it. And it's both the short-term gain, like here we are present, here we are still, and that's an instant gratification of peace and calmness in a moment. And then also in a cumulative way, the more moments you have practicing being present, the long term, well, we don't even know. that's to come, but I know consciously practicing being in the moment, being with tea in this manner 7 or 8 years, I've had a personal experience of the short-term gains and the long-term benefits, and if you have as well, beautiful, like lovely, and people way further down the path than I am. But the fact that we get the instant gratification is something that humans can be very drawn to. Is like, oh yeah, I mean, in a moment I get to feel peaceful anyway, so cool. Then long-term benefits too. Win, lovely. If you want to, just take a moment just to observe the breath, just following the breath through the nose, noticing the air passing through the nostrils. Is it warm or cool, damp or dry? Does the body breathe easily, or is there tension? Whatever you may notice without judgment, just noticing. As you allow the body to breathe. As you allow the body to breathe and observe the breath, reflecting consciousness back upon itself. And then here we are, whatever you're doing, if you're drinking water, tea, coffee, reishi, chaga, lion's mane, whatever it is, whatever it is. Now, in the moment that you are in, how you will go forward from this moment, from this mini little practice together, that you'll go forward now with the rest of your day. And I say this quite often, it's like if I make a phone call now compared to 30 minutes ago, imagine the difference in my vibration, my tone, how this is so lovely, because it is instant gratification. It is calming the system and then doing something. Wake up, frantically run around, get ready, oh my God, I've got to go. And sometimes that happens too, of course. But when we get to practice, just be still and then have the conversation, and then do the work, and then whatever it is. Have the conversation with your partner, your kids, the boss, whatever it is, or before a business meeting or a pitch or something like that. Like, still the mind, still the body, be present, and then. All right, I'm gonna have one more green tea, and then. Gonna have to fill it up. See, really short steepings there, because I put a fair few leaves in, but also now that we're on the third steeping of the green, and it always depends on the tea and the heat of the water, but the first one I steeped it, well, with green it's quite different because they're often short flash steepings anyway, but on this one, because I know that these leaves are now open and ready to give, and there is a good volume of leaf in there, that just a short amount of steeping time is perfect for this bowl. That's just lovely. The first and second bowls there for me were slightly bitter, and it could be because this is the first thing that's actually touched my tongue today in terms of flavour and taste. But this steeping, and again, as I say this, it's true, and I get to experience the placebo of it. So that's something that I really buy into. Like, I dive deep into that. Ah, yes. I get to just use my mind to create greater benefit in an experience. And you can. It just makes me laugh so much, just the more and more, like, I've been doing this now ever since we went into quarantine, and the more and more I dive into these moments, I get these deep cellular felt laughter moments where it's like, wow, how cool. Yeah. And you can do it. The circular moment of, I'm drinking my green tea, I'm drinking my lion's mane. Yes, it has physical benefits. Yes, they're both very well studied for their benefits. And as I use my creative mind to just allow the placebo-ness, it compounds the potential. And in the moment we can have instant gratification of feeling good, which is also part of the game. The game of feeling good, and then the game of sharing feeling good. As I go forward, as you go forward from this moment. Oh, lovely. Right, whatever you're up to now, I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, and I hope you've enjoyed this beginning.